The Jehovah Witness organization is made up of micro-incremental, dark triad, narcissistic, psychopathological, Machiavellianism, theological abuse. It's covert and overt. The overt side of it attacks from blatant theological lies that can be proven in seconds. People have died because of the blood doctrine and listened to their theological lies that continue to bombard communities and societies. Nothing good has come out of the organization relative to trying to resolve scams and schemes in our communities. They lie, cheat. Jeffrey Jackson lied in the Australian Royal Commission without any restraint or resolve or conscience. The Jehovah Witnesses are theologically taught to abuse. They spread their lies without conscience. They are programmed to believe falsehoods. And when you tell somebody a lie from the Bible, it's the highest form of theological and integral abuse that there is. People put their lives on trusting God. They want to rely on God and His ways. And when people lie about those such important things and twist them and use them to their advantage, using a religion as a business shopfront at the expense of people's sanity and mental health, that is serial Machiavellian, psychopathic, narcissistic theological abuse. The Jehovah Witness followers will stand with their carts on the streets, which is complete overt, blatant advertisement of lies. They have no conscience. They believe what they're saying. They'll take whoever they can with them without conscience, without restraint. They don't care who falls prey to the theological abuse, the shunning, the lying, the fact that they think Michael the Archangel is God. And this is 101 lying and misleading and deceiving from the sacred passages. Just because it's used as religion doesn't mean it's correct. If you can't work out who the Jewish Messiah is and you think that putting Michael in his place is justified, it is absolute a criminal. The way in which these scriptures are being used is criminal. It's deliberate satanic falsehood to mislead people and misguide people into the wrong direction theologically. People come to their senses and never return to anything scriptural again. They've been betrayed, they've been humiliated, demoralized, psychologically perceived to be stupid, ignorant, cognitive dissident. And this is the sort of training that you will be penetrated with and intruded upon and molested with, theologically molested with by the Jehovah Witnesses. Once you fall into the theologically abusive cycle and become a disciple, a demonized disciple of the cult, you are then rewarded and abused, psychologically abused with ego stroking as to how wonderful you are in sharing the false teachings of the cult. They don't care who it harms, who it hurts, what destruction that it does. The shunning policy teaches people to reject their loved ones if they don't conform to the teachings of the society, the cult. You must submit to their way of thinking, and if you don't, you will be punished. You'll be sent to the back of the congregation. If that ain't enough, you'll be asked to leave and be disfellowshipped, usually without any legitimacy, scriptural legitimacy behind the claims. And then on the other hand, pedophiles are allowed to join the meetings and have access to children without any reporting to the authorities about who they are and what they do. On every front, as your mind's spinning and wondering and questioning and realizing that things just aren't quite right, you begin to wonder where your mind has gone, what is wrong with your thinking, why you've decided to become cold and bland and sullen towards anything that might resemble truth, because now your faithfulness is to defend lies and not truth. You don't love the same, you're not treating people the same, you're frightened of the world outside and around you. You worship the teachings, the wrong teachings, and you know for the most part they're wrong, but you have been trained and programmed and trained, conditioned psychologically deep from within how to continue to believe things that you know not to be true. You begin to betray yourself. You begin to become disloyal to yourself. You start to become sexually depraved. That's what happens within this organization. That's why so many children get molested. And there's promiscuous sexual misconduct throughout the organization, compulsive masturbation. This is a way of self-punishment, but also self-gratification. Comes with shame and guilt, and terrible despondency towards yourself and others. You hate the organization underneath, but you have to believe in what it says and teaches to you so that you can continue as being a loyal member to climbing a ladder that doesn't exist. You're actually digging a hole for your soul to fall down. It gets deeper and darker, not lighter and brighter. You notice that people don't treat you the same if you do not conform. You feel the coldness. You see people asking questions that are legit, but they're just not getting the answers, and you shy away. You hide at home. You become confused, deluded, unsure of what's going to come up next. You see the governing body member getting fired for alcoholism and other horrible, ranting, terrible things, like you will have blood on yourself and all this other stuff for not preaching. They say that they report pedophiles, and they don't. There's pedophiles very close to your children as well, that if they could get hold of them, they would. Your children are being lied to, being conformed into a religion that's just not real or helpful to anybody. You could go to a Rotary Club or the Lions Club or even McDonald's and be safer. The theology is abusive and harmful and criminal. That is what you have in the Jehovah Witness organization. That is what it is doing to you. You will be cognitive dissident. Your identity will be lost. You may never return from the theological abuse. It will take years of therapy, soul searching, processing, and undoing the bitterness and resentment that comes up once you realize you've been completely and utterly deceived. You thought you were following God, but you were actually following an evil, demonic, Satan-orientated business that was fleecing everybody for their money, selling the kingdom halls from underneath them after they'd been built, and by people that had given their life, blood and sweat to these things, only to watch the watchtower sell them and cash in on the money and the profits. The abuse doesn't stop. It goes on. While the watchtower's getting richer, you're getting poorer and sillier and more stupid. And at the end, when you realize how much time you've wasted, how much deception that you've swallowed, you become sick, ill, dizzy, you have mental health issues. Undoing the cognitive dissonance could take years if you ever get over it. And this is the consequences of theological abuse by the Jehovah Witnesses. They manifest on the streets if you challenge them. They don't believe in the police, but they'll ring them if you ask for biblical truth. They run, hide, scheme. They'll lie. They don't care what happens to you. That's the Jehovah Witnesses. I promise you, you need to look. If you are a Jehovah Witness and you're watching this, you know underneath that something's not right. And it's time you did something for yourself and your family. Grandmothers have never seen their grandchildren. Mothers have never seen their grandchildren due to the shunning policies. There is destructive, unbelievable contempt towards people that don't bow to the organization. They'll say you're mentally diseased. I've had them call me mentally diseased and ask them not to do it, or I'll consult the courts. And they did stop doing it. Some of these people run child mining centers, and there's pedophiles in reach of these children. It's not healthy. It's not biblical. It is not the Bible. It has nothing to do with God. It's a business using religion as a shop front. My advice to you is run. Count your losses. Go through the process of recovery, healing, and dismantling the programming that you've been given. And then find and start your journey to healing. It may take months, years, decades, but the sooner you start, the better off you'll have your life back. Tens of thousands of people have died from the blood doctrine, the lie. It's not even in the Bible. Even a kindergarten child could work that out. These people are determined to destroy you and take your money, and it's up to you. It's up to you. Only you can choose. This is Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison. Bye for now.